Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
This is the kind of show. This is the kind of show we always dreamed of doing.
Impossible, impossible.
What is going on, my peoples? Time for another episode, man. Time for another episode. So, while we give it a minute and let all of the congregation, funny that I call my audience the congregation sometime, and now here we are having this conversation about a pastor. As we wait for the congregation to get in here, I urge everybody that supports the platform to please hit that link that I posted right there pinned in the comments to my Patreon, right? I need everybody to support. I would really appreciate if I could get 10 people to subscribe to my Patreon tonight for however much that you feel like my platform is worth to the community. You know what I'm saying? Because I would hate for it to come a time that Mark D needs a new computer and can't go live, or Mark D needs a new phone. Mark D already needs a new phone, right? Mark D might need a new camera to take these pictures for the website. I'm actually trying to get a new news van. Mark D needs a new news van, right? So y'all need my help, and I need y'all help the same. So I need y'all to go ahead and support the platform, sign up to the Patreon, and support 7 Mile Radio and the independent journalism that y'all see me doing out here. You know what I'm saying? Give me some gas money. Give me a chicken pita every month. How about that? Think of it like that. You know what I'm saying? On top of the fact that on my Patreon, tonight on Patreon, I'm going to go a little bit deeper with the information that I'm going to give y'all tonight. And tonight, I'm going to give y'all a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be well worth it. Well worth the wait. I've been on the case all day. As a lot of y'all notice, y'all hit me up and say, "Hey, Mark, you all right? You haven't went live today. You haven't posted anything. You haven't said nothing. Like, what's going on with you?" Mark D has been on the beat. In fact, this morning at 11 o'clock, where should I even start? Like, let's start there. Let's start with where I should even start. So if you were watching my live last night, I'll let y'all know that I was going to get off the live and immediately hit the ground running on doing research on finding out the who's who as far as this situation is concerned. I got off the phone and like I said, I talked to some family members and confirmed that this person that we're talking about is indeed a pastor. Okay. So that was one of the things that we hadn't come to the conclusion of last night, because the neighbor, if you were watching the live, the neighbor was the one that gave me the information and said that the children throughout the neighborhood said that these were the pastor's kids, and this was his way of punishing them by forcing them to be outside. And in fact, it's true, okay? Those are pastor's kids, okay? And he was once a pastor affiliated with the church that I grew up in. Like I told y'all, I found out last night on the live that he was a pastor. And I'm not going to name that church, and I'm glad that I didn't name the church because last night I was about to get some of you all together so we can go and visit the service. at the church. I mean, seeing this is a church that I'm familiar with, I'm like, let's go to church. Remember y'all last night? I'm like, let's go. Y'all want to go to church? Y'all inboxing me the word church if y'all want to go to church service with me, and a whole lot of y'all inboxing, right? I didn't reply. And it wasn't because I felt like y'all were weirdos. I said that I'm going to tell y'all the location if I don't feel like you're a weirdo. I didn't reply to anybody, so don't feel slighted because I didn't reply to you. And the reason why I didn't reply, because I was in the process of finding out that it was not that church, our church, my family church, that he was still ministering at. In fact, he had established his own church at this point. He had went from the church that I know to another church, and now they had a situation with him where they didn't allow him to come back. First off, he was not allowed. He was like kicked out of the church from where I was, our church, the church, my family's church. He was not allowed to come back. He fell out with the main pastor. He didn't get along with him, and he was not allowed to come back. So let's start there. There was another church he tried to get affiliated with, and they did not allow him to minister there because of a certain type of practice. Let's keep that in mind. That's another nugget that I forgot to mention. There was a certain involvement that he had, a certain connection or something. I'm not saying it right, but there was something that he was involved in that they didn't like. I'll just say it like that. Something that he was involved in that they didn't like. So he started his own church, and I know what church that is, by the way. I know what church that is, and I will not be naming that church because I do not want people to take matters into their own hands and go and find the church. And, we don't need any more behind the ball boy type situations going on, right? We don't need any more behind the ball boy type situations. So I know what church that he ministers at now. He has his own church, right? So upon researching his name, I found out that he has an affiliation where he is named as a pastor for another organization, right? And I look up this organization, and it is something, a nationally based organization, you know what I'm saying, worldwide, if you will. And they have a base, a nucleus here, a headquarters, I'll say, right here in Michigan, of many places around the country, in Dearborn Heights. This organization that he's a pastor of, he's named as a pastor of. But this is, when you look it up on the front end, I'll say it like this. On the front end, it's a production company. But he's named as a pastor. When I look up his profile on another website, he's named as a pastor. And I'm not going to give you all of this information because it's too much. But just follow me for a minute. So he's named as a pastor for this organization. Okay. There's other information that came across my desk that confirms that he is a Michigan State alumni, right? And I confirmed that because I've seen pictures on his Facebook page. Okay, I know his Facebook page. I know the wife's Facebook page. Okay. I have 56 mutual friends with this pastor. And a couple of people are kind of prestigious people in the city, well-known activists, if you will, some in the city. So I look up this company, like I said, and I find out that it's a production company. Also, he is a Michigan State alumni. And while he was at Michigan State, there was rumors going around that he was a member of a religious cult. There was rumors going around amongst his classmates that he was a part of a religious cult. Okay. Fast forward to I told y'all that he was not allowed to come back to the church that my family was a part of. The middle church, he went to another church and they didn't allow him to minister there. Right? There was rumors about him being a part of the religious cult floating around this church. And the pastor confronted him about these rumors about him being a part of this religious cult. And he told the pastor to mind his business. I don't have my sound effects loaded up, but I'm still going to drop the bomb on that. While he was at Michigan State, there was rumors of him being a part of a religious cult. And now, years later, these rumors resurface when he's a minister. And the pastor of this church, of the one that he was a part of after he grew up in my grandmother's church, right? My family, my aunt, they all know him. They know his family, right? His whole family, they grew up in the church, the same church that my parents, my mom and my auntie grew up in. So he goes to this church and this pastor confronts him about it. And he says, mind your business to the pastor. Now, if you know anything about religious institutions or organizations, you know they have a lot of exemptions. They have a lot of, they get a lot of passes, if you will, to make a long story short, without going through all of the red tape, for a lot of things like taxes. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of y'all are familiar with motorcycle clubs. Y'all know how, in some instances, the motorcycle clubs can't be raided by the police because they're out of jurisdiction of the police. They're not, they don't have jurisdiction to go in there and enter and do anything, right? Because of the way the organization is structured. All right, it's a lot of things, right? Sometimes, you know, having certain information, the, the the right information being known by the wrong people can be dangerous, right? Just like the wrong people knowing that certain people know certain information can be dangerous for the people that know it, right? So I just wanted to say that before I got into that. But so if you know anything, like I said, about motorcycle clubs and some of them and how they're structured, you know what I'm saying? Um, or social clubs, even some social clubs even have these bylaws. If you have a religious institution, right, you are tax exempt. You know what I mean? They don't have jurisdiction to enter and implement any kind of federal laws or state laws because they don't have jurisdiction over it. The state or the federal government don't have jurisdiction over this. This is like its own entity. I don't know it all fluently, so I can't speak it all, but I know what I'm talking about. For the people that know, y'all can call in later and explain a little bit more of what I'm saying. But so, for example, if you have your own religious institution, your own religious entity, and you have it, you can create your own Bible, if you will, right? And your members, right, that are a part of it, that are signed and a part of your institution. These are your members. Like, have y'all ever heard of a minister or a pastor going into a prison and removing somebody from prison, just walking them out? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the end of the day, this pastor has jurisdiction over this person because this is their member. And the state and the feds don't have, it's like some sovereign shit. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know all of the, so I say all of that to say, Per se, if this pastor has his own religious institution, or if he's a part of a religious institution that has its own bylaws, its own structuring, per se, this is my religious way of punishing my kids, right? And you can't do anything about it. This is my religion. You know what I'm saying? You're going against my religion and the way that I discipline my kids by making them sleep on the porch. And someone calls the police and they say, hey, there's nothing illegal going on here. So where the police are saying, oh, well, they're allowed to go in the house, right? Because they've been contacted before and they're telling the police, oh, yeah, they're allowed to go in the house. But then, maybe there's some type of abuse, as the boy said to me, there's some type of abuse that's going on in the house that either preventing them to not want to go in the house or manipulatively forcing them out the house while they're painting the picture that it's okay for them to come in, pressing the narrative that it's the boy's choice that they want to be out there on the porch. So I'm not going to tell y'all his name, the wife's name, the church, right? But it is one thing that I want y'all to help me look into, if you will. Because I believe that this organization is a front company or a shell company, if you will, for something a little bit more darker and sinister. Okay? I want y'all to go look up the company Church and Dwight. This company has a familiar theme to the logo. I'm sure y'all probably recognize it, right? But the name is Church and Dwight Company Incorporated. Why is the name Church involved in a production company? Now, if you go to the website Church and Dwight, it'll tell you that it's a production company, right? Right? And it's a parent company that owns about 30 different brands. Let me do something right quick. Consumer goods and home personal care, right? They own companies like Trojan, Flawless, Waterpik, OxyClean, Batiste, Arm & Hammer, Orajel, Vitafusion, First Response, Extra, Nair, Spin Brush, Kaboom, Orange Glow, Little Kriller, all kinds of brands that they own. But this person is a pastor, probably on payroll. For a company that appears to be a production company of some sort. Like I feel like we diving into some deeper, almost Illuminati type shit that's going on. Do y'all remember Waco, Texas? Right, David Koresh, that cult motherfucker had the religious cult full of motherfuckers, the facility full of motherfuckers that was following him. You know what I'm saying? To the death, basically. I think David Koresh is like a redneck trailer park version of what this Church and Dwight situation is. I think that's like a redneck trailer park version. This is a worldwide corporate funded situation. And let me tell y'all this. It's been said to me by everybody that's been talking to me that are immediately around this situation that they're not even sure if those are his biological kids. Those are possibly his stepkids. Okay? His stepkids. And the reason why he's punishing them, the reason why he punished them in July, allegedly, that was told to me, right? The two boys got into it with his mother, who are their grandmother, allegedly, right? The two boys got into it with the pastor's mother, which is their grandmother, and he put them out the house in July. And the grandmother doesn't even stay there anymore. The grandmother is not even in the house with them anymore. So the crazy part about it is I'm getting so many different stories from different people that are immediately around it, and the dots are connect. Everything is facing the same way. From me originally hearing about the story, and the reason being that he put them out the house to punish them because they were too possessed with the world and unclean, and he didn't want them in the house because they were unclean and too possessed with the world, the outside world. And then I pull up and the neighbor's telling me that the children is saying on the block that these are the pastor's kids and he's making them sleep outside for punishment. So that's a confirmation that that's a possibility that he put them out because, they're too worldly. Now they fell out with the grandmother. They had a fight with the grandmother. And now he put them out, right? And someone told me that this morning the mother, his wife went out on the porch and folded the blankets up. And I can confirm that, right? I can confirm that because when I went back over there this morning, guess what? I found out what church he preached. He was pastoring at, and I was listening to the sermon. I watched the sermon live this morning, and while I was watching the sermon, I got the bright idea to go over there and see if the boys were still on the porch while he were out there preaching, while he was at the church preaching, right? So I jumped up. What I did, I jumped up, I went to the dollar store and I bought a blanket because somebody sent me some Cash App money last night and said, get the boys some blankets and shit and some gloves and shit. So I went to the dollar store right here and I bought some warm shit. I bought a blanket and some gloves, skull cap and shit, you know what I mean? And I went and Coney Island and I bought a breakfast, pancakes and eggs, and I got double sausage because I'm like, it's two of them, I'm gonna get double sausage. So I went over there, right, and they wasn't there. They wasn't there, but I can confirm that the covers was rolled up on the porch. I didn't want to go live. I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to attract no attention to me going back this time because I felt like, everybody know my van and shit, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to be, in a marked vehicle. So I just pulled up, and I walked up to the car. The truck wasn't in the driveway. So I'm like, okay, that's the truck he drive. But there was still another car in the driveway. So I walked up cautiously and I looked and they weren't there. Right? So when I got back, to the studio, I got more information. Got back to the studio, I got more. Well, that's when I got the information about what high school they went to, right? And the fact, what high school the oldest one went to, right? And the fact that this boy, previously to this situation going on, I got information from the lunch lady at the high school that he attends. This boy is a average student. He's an excellent student. Like even through all of this ordeal, nobody even know anything was going on. I think it was like within the last couple of weeks, that he actually told somebody, one of the staff administration, what was going on at the house, and nobody could believe it because he still comes to school dressed and clean, right, and presents. He's happy, like nothing has ever happened. Nobody would ever believe anything is going on with him. He's a basketball star. Ladies and gentlemen, that's part of the reason why he didn't want me to put his face out there, because he's popular at the fucking high school that he attends. And it's a popular high school. Okay, the two boys that are sleeping on the porch are junior pastors. They were junior pastors at a very prestigious church in the city, and they've been wondering why these boys have not been in the church recently. They say both of these boys are excellent pastors, the 12-year-old and the 15-year-old. I was listening to his sermon today. I'm going to play y'all this little clip of something he said that I found interesting. Right? I'm going to play y'all this clip of the sermon. I'm not going to show it because I don't want y'all to see him or see the background, because the church name is in the back and all of that shit, right? He said something that stuck out to me amongst many things, because I'm about to chop and screw this sermon, because this is the sermon that he did the morning after his children slept in the cold. 25 degrees, right? It was actually colder than 25 degrees because it snowed last night at 2 o'clock. It was 25 degrees when I left, and it felt like 14 outside when I left. This is one of the things he said during his sermon this morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus teaches us in the text, Deacon Latif, that sometimes you just gotta pop out and show people that you take your relationship with God seriously.
He said that today. So guess what I'm gonna do next Sunday? Guess where I'm going next Sunday, y'all? So all of the people that inbox me church, I asked y'all if y'all wanted to go to church with me, right? Y'all remember a few years back when I went to the church with a certain community activist group, when they went to visit because Donald Trump was coming to promote his campaign at the church? And to make a long story short, tables end up getting flipped in the church. Just Google chaos in the Detroit church if you want to know what I'm talking about. I think we need to go flip some tables right before Christmas. No, it's not the same church. Somebody said, don't tell me it's the same church. It's not the same church. Let me open up the call-in lines. I feel like y'all want to talk. Call-in line is open, man. 313-723-0481. If you want to call in, hit the line, man. Express your thoughts on this situation. I want to hear from y'all. Here's the thing. Let me scroll up to this comment. Matter of fact, let me turn my commenter on. Let me highlight y'all comments. Somebody just said, Mariah, my good friend Mariah. She just said, where'd it go? She said, Mark, be careful. He is using his religion as a weapon and he's going to be protected by the law. It might be an unfortunate situation. So here's the thing. I'm not trying to go be violent. That would be very unwise of me and impossible to enter a church and be violent. Like I'm not a violent person. Right? I just want to pose a question. Okay? I would like to pose a question to this man in front of the congregation. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. On why you choose to punish your children by forcing them to sleep outside in the cold in Detroit in December. It's December the 1st. It's 25 degrees. What kind of parent are you? What kind of pastor are you to call yourself a shepherd and ministering to people when your own children I just want to go ask a question. What do y'all think I should do? Y'all don't think I should go to church? Now y'all telling me not to go to church? Call me and tell me what I should do. If not, go to church. I can't go to the church and ask the pastor a question. What's going on, caller? Who is this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mark. I'm going to say my name is T.
Okay, what's
going on? I'm going to say I'm from East Side. What's good? What's good?
What's going on?
So I'm encouraging us to, and I posted this, but I'm encouraging us to move incredibly careful here. We don't know the higher levels of this man's mentality. Like, we really don't know to what extent he will go to continue being this type of person. And I think for the benefit, because we don't know how many other children are in the home, for the benefit of the two young men that you did your best to help out last night, as well as the possibility of there being other children in the home, we definitely need to move incredibly careful. So popping up at this man church may, in fact, cause repercussions that we will all be, sorrowful for. I'm not saying don't hold this man accountable, but I am saying that every move we make needs to be as careful as the steps he's taken because clearly he's been doing this for a very long time. So I'm encouraging you guys, I'm encouraging all of us to move with caution. The church is a dangerous place sometimes. And I think we all know that for a fact. Some of us who've grown up in the church and stepped away from the church, but also grown up in the church and stayed there and seen other churches, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I got death threats from Wayne T. Jackson's church the last time when we went in there and the protests happened. I really had nothing to do with the protests. I was just a journalist there, and I was so happened to be filming and documenting at the time that the fight started and went on. So I was blamed from both sides from what I hear now for the whole situation. But yeah, so I'm prepared for that.
I understand. Well, I'm wishing you like light, peace. We definitely want to show up as a community. I'm going to hit you up in your inbox, but we want to show up as a community in support of these young people. But I do not encourage us as a community to do anything that may cause these children and any other kids that may be in the home to suffer the repercussions of that. So thank you so much for taking my call. I'll tap back in on your live.
All right, sister. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. So, as I do a lot of time when we have high call volume or high audience volume, I turn the do not disturb on when we have callers and let them breathe so we don't have people chiming in. So now the call-in line is back open if y'all want to call in. I see I had several missed calls during that conversation. So chime back in. 313-723-0481 is the call-in line. Well, here's the thing, right? All I'm doing is asking a question. I shouldn't go ask a question. That's all I'm wondering. Yeah, the call-in line is back open. I got 6 missed calls during the why wait till Sunday? I mean, because that's the next time that service is. I don't want to go to Bible study. I don't feel like it'll be yeah, I wouldn't want to go to Bible study. Right? The only way to get answers is to ask questions. Tay Gray said, are you going to pull him to the side and ask questions? I planned on standing up. I'm a stand-up guy. I was planning on standing up and asking the question. All right, where's the call-in line? Where's the... I see it, but it's not on the screen. Okay, there's some kind of error going on with my call-in line. I couldn't see the number. I couldn't answer it. I couldn't answer it just now. Let me call this person back.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? You just called the call-in line?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? I don't know why I couldn't answer, but what's going on? Who's this and where you calling from?
It's Keisha from the East Side.
Keisha from the East Side. What's happening? What you want to say, sister?
You was asking why you can't ask questions. I think we're more so saying don't ask the questions because if potentially or allegedly them kids got put out on the porch back in August from an argument with his mama, ain't no telling what that question will push him to do. You know what I'm saying? I would say find the kids maybe and then kind of, see what they want. Or even like, that churches be having little drop boxes. Flood his drop box or something. But even then, it's like the previous person was saying, kind of got to think about the repercussions of the kids, because you know,
Yeah, I mean, it
I
could
don't
be a
know. He's
situation
clearly a
where
narcissist.
yeah. That's the reason why they didn't want to leave, right? And that they don't want to be helped by anybody in the neighborhood because it could have been like you sit out there and receive this punishment. You don't get no help from nobody, or I'm going to make it worse, type shit. You know what I mean? So that was part of the reason why when I came with the food this morning, I didn't leave the blankets. I didn't leave the food, right? Because I wasn't sure if they were going to get them or not, right? I actually pulled up to the gas station and gave the food to somebody else that was sitting out there at the gas station, and I still got the blanket in the van. So and the rest of the stuff. I'm not wanting to
I,
hurt them and shit. I'm not wanting to put them in a situation that cause them more harm at all. But it's like, what do you do when the police apparently can't and won't do nothing about it?
I would say try to catch the 15-year-old and try to holler at him away from the house.
Did you see the video from last night?
Yeah, that's why I said away from the house.
Oh, you said away from the So I
You
did have intel on where he goes, like on school days, right? You know, he gets up, he goes to school, and then after school he goes to this certain place. So I have to
hmm
find out where this certain place is that he hangs out at because the police did mention, right, that they agreed, right, to not hang out in the streets after curfew. You know, they have to come back to the
hmm
house at curfew. So what time is curfew in Detroit by any chance? What is it, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or
9 o'clock, I think. Yeah, I think like 9 o'clock. I'm not sure, but yeah, I would say maybe that route, because just we don't know the mindset. He clearly crazy, so just.
Um, another thing that happened during the conversation that I didn't share with you all when I cut the live off, the little boy gave me a phone number for him, but he told me that it wasn't on.
Mm, yeah, so it's
So
like, yeah, I don't know. That was just my thought. I'm going back to the live.
all right. The curfew. I don't know if he need his phone bill paid. Y'all saying the curfew depends on the age, so then that lets me know that they're probably going to be in the house at whatever time the 12-year-old would have to be in. So say curfew reminder, Detroit City Code, section 29311. It is unlawful for a minor to be in a public street, sidewalk, playground, or vacant lot or other place for minors aged 15 years and under, 10 p.m. through 6 a.m. For minors aged 16 to 17, it's 11 p.m. So 10 p.m. Like I said, I thought it was 9 or 10. No, I didn't go to the church this morning. I didn't go to the church, and the reason being, oh shit, I done lost my video. The reason why I didn't go to the church this morning, after my live video, I was up for several hours after I got off live, just connecting the dots, researching and looking up stuff. And after I did end up going to sleep, I woke up a little bit late. I woke up in time, just in time enough to watch the service as opposed to going to it. You know what I'm saying? Since I found out that was not the original church that I seen him preaching at, and then there was another one. We found that church's Facebook page, and I end up watching his live right there. I have the sermon, that clip that I just played. from this morning. So I was watching that, and as opposed to going to the church, I went to the boy, went back to the house, like I said. You know what I mean? I ran to the dollar store into Coney Island, and I went over there to try to see if I could help them, because I'm like, this would be, if had they been, I ain't gonna lie, had they been on the porch while he was still at church preaching, I would have went live. I would have went live again, but I didn't go live because I'm not even about to bring attention to the situation. I continue to gather information throughout the day, and I'll go live with everything tonight, which I'm doing now. But yeah, that's why I didn't go to the church. Did you try to call the number? I don't know. I didn't try to call any number. So I have several news constituents already contacted in regards to this. There's two other people that told me that they've reached out to the news. One person said that they know someone that works to the news that said that they were going to pitch it to the information desk about running the story. And y'all already know that I've been in contact with the news. I've actually been talking to Jessica Dupnack all morning since last night actually about it. So I'm waiting on her to get back with me. I know she's busy with all of the work that she got to do at Fox 2. So Fox 2 has been informed about it, right, from several different reporters by me, and as well as two other people that I know that have reached out to the news outlets. As well, y'all been tagging them in my last two videos like crazy, so I know they have received it. Anything that they see coming from me that y'all tagging me in like that, I know they pay attention to it. So no, I didn't say the church, and I'm not going to say the church because I don't want people to, take matters into their own hands and do something that they're not supposed to do. Like I said, I'm vested in it to the point where I just want to ask the man a question myself, like, what is it? You know what I mean, that has you punishing these kids like this? Probably going to show you, who the fuck are you? None of your business. It's probably going to be the answer, but. Call-in line is still open, by the way. Said, am I going to audio tape it and not video? I mean, you can't record people without their knowledge and shit. You know what I mean? Without them knowing, first off. So I can't just go in there and record him while he's talking and, And I highly doubt he would be interested in an interview about it. You know what I'm saying? So you said call the number and see what's up with it. How you know that's not a way you can get in contact with him now? I don't know. I don't have a number. I don't. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a number on the church website. I doubt if that is his personal number. I haven't had a phone number for him. I don't think. Maybe I have. Now that I think about it, but I haven't. No, I haven't called anybody. A recap would to be going over the whole 50-minute conversation that I just had, Keith. But yeah, just I guess wait till the live is over. And how is he a preacher? What is going on with my phone line that I can't see the damn callers? So it's two people calling right now. For some reason, I can't see. Let me close this and open it back up. Because I don't understand why I can't see. It's not showing me the button. It's not showing me the button to answer the phone. Let me open it back up. I just closed it. So I'm about to call one of these people back.
Hey, Mark.
What's happening, caller? I don't know what's going on with my phone line tonight. What's happening? Who's
Okay.
this?
I was just thinking that you said your people know his family, the pastor's family.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said you found the wife or the mom's Facebook. Maybe you could reach out to the mama. I don't know, that's a little sketchy, but maybe even reach out to his family to even find out, like, are y'all sick too? And then maybe try to find out what's wrong with their son that way. That's just a thought, you know. That just came across because it's like, again, the level of narcissism that's going on, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, my thought for the 15-year-old, like, he told you abuse, but then he kind of backtracked, but then to find out he's a straight A student and a basketball star, you know, his mindset is probably like trying to like stick to his brother, you know, to, you know, he got 3 more years in his mind, you know, and he, shit, for all we know, he might be the next, you know, star out here talking about his life story and how his mama fucked up, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But I'm just like, CPS really can only do so much because of how they're playing that story. You know, they're welcome in the house and all that shit. But maybe if we can get to the mom and maybe see if some extended family of the mama maybe would be willing to take the kids, because that's probably the boy's biggest concern, being separated. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, of course, especially with him being 12 years old and then him knowing he don't want to leave and, you know, can't take his brother with him, or the possibility of being in the system in foster care and being separated that way, all the way. You know what I mean? It's like, I would rather go through this with you than be separated and leave you by yourself in any situation, because this situation at the house is not something I want to leave you in, nor in the system, right? The older one, now somebody mentioned something about other kids being in the house. To my knowledge, there's no other kids in the house. They have an older brother that's 18 that's in college, right? So it's just them two as far as what it appears.
And maybe we could find the other brother and see if he know what the hell going on. And you know what I'm saying?
So
18, they can become guardianship.
Another interesting twist, the 18-year-old, right, son, which I'm not going to put his page out there either, because one of the people that was helping me research as they were digging through some information, they have a family member, an elder family member of theirs, a cousin that's around 50, no, he's 60 plus years old, but he's still a younger type 60, right? In the LGBT community, who's Facebook friends with their oldest son, who just graduated from high school and is in college. So that raised a red flag to the person that was helping me research, because this is a family member who they've been warned since childhood to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? And he has a keen liking for younger boys. So that's another questionable element that was raised amongst all of this situation.
Well, yeah, I would definitely, I don't know. In that case, shit, I don't know. I mean, at that point, I guess we kind of back it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to this. A lot of layers to the onion, as they say. But yeah, so I want to help them boys, man. I want to help y'all to help me figure out and put together resources to do something about what
you know the school. Holler at the basketball coach. Holler at the basketball coach.
Mm, I will do that. I definitely will do that.
Cause them boys, if they don't do nothing, they gonna lean to their coaches for sure. And especially if he already, you know what I'm saying, then expose something to somebody. All right, I'm going back to the left.
Bet. All right, let me see who this other person was that called that I missed.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? You called the phone line?
Yes, I did. Hey,
What's
Mark.
what's going
This
on?
is Latricia Woodson from the East Side, and man, my brand is So Woodwear, and it stands for Securing Our Way, Helping Our Own People. I am about to cry. I just wanted to tell you this, in these words only: Be careful. Be careful. Always be careful, because it's a thin line, a very thin line between religion and mental health. So I'm gonna sit there right there. Sometimes I've been to church my whole life. I was brought up in the church. I gave my life to God in Christ, got baptized when I was 6 years old. I sung in all the choirs. Me and my mother and father are still together. And I'm telling you how thin that line is between mental health and religion. It's unreal. So you have to decipher sometimes what you can do and what you can't do, and the things that's out of your control. You have to find another way, because religion, you can be a Christian, Baptist. Just think about this. You seeing these kids on the porch. You got these kids that are out of the country and was born, and their parents told them to put bombs around them at 6 or 7 years old. So how are we going to be able to decipher what's real and what's not? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that some of these parents are teaching and indoctrinating their kids with certain types of lifestyles and traditions and rituals, maybe sometimes in this instance, man, that this ridiculous is crazy out here, man. And the fact that stuff like this is going on right here in our own city, man, we've been experiencing a lot of like movie type shit going on, man, in our city, man, as far as this news concerned, man, like that you stuff that you would see on TV that you wouldn't believe is happening right next door, right around the corner from you, man. Like
You
shit
are
is getting
right. But
crazy.
can I say this too to all of our people? While everybody's listening, everybody's tuned in, everybody's live. Can I say this to our black people, our community, and everybody that's listening? We got to stop sitting in the house, let these kids do what they want to do in your house. We sitting here with parents that sit at the table with these kids smoking, drinking with them, 15, 16 years old. You understand what I'm saying? We got so much shit that's going on here, like right now, to where it's just like crazy. And then, not me to defer from the conversation, everybody was on there when that girl went to opposite direction, and her and that young fellow died in the accident, and everybody was like, everybody should stop drinking and driving. I know 90% of the people I'm friends with, 3,000 people. 90% of the people drink and drive, and from Thanksgiving, before the Thanksgiving, when they die Friday or Saturday morning, they drink and drive. It's just so much. How can we sit here and be like, okay, these things are wrong when they teaching us, showing us from birth and from being kids? You understand what I'm saying? These are the things that we did, and we watched everybody else do. I want to know, how can we solve all of this shit, man? How can
It
we
ain't
do this?
it ain't no one button push to solve it. You
And
know
I,
what I mean?
and I understand.
So, but all right. I appreciate your call, sister.
No problem.
All right. She said, "Hey man, y'all make it hard for me to stay serious sometime, man. Y'all. All right. So the call in line is back open, y'all. Let me turn the do not disturb off. Let me turn. I was trying to just give everybody time to breathe, y'all. There was only 2-3 minutes. Try to give everybody 2 minutes at least. Damn. Um, but yeah, man. What's next with this, man? I don't want to be. I don't want to be gung ho, jumping the ball, jumping the gun and shit, and leading everybody into a burning building and shit. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I want to go. I want to go. I want to ask the man, like man to man, like what is it? All right, now the line is back working. What's going on, caller? Who is this? Where you calling from?
This is Dee Dee. I'm from the West Side, 7 Mile.
What's happening, DD?
Um, I'm over here. I've been reeling since last night and tossing and turning and thinking about these two kids. I just wanted to like throw some suggestions out. If there's any way that I know that you have, you're already working with contacts with the news and everything. If there's any way we can get in touch with a family law attorney, or like the previous caller said, speaking with the basketball coach, so that somebody can build some rapport with the oldest young man and maybe start like emancipation so that he is able to help his brother and able to help himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think that's a good idea. What the other caller mentioned, reaching out to the basketball coach. I think that'll be the best person that'll be able to reach
yes,
him, that'll make an
that
impact
was great.
outside of the family, outside of because we're not going to be able to. Somebody said hit the mom up. The mom was out there folding up the blankets this morning
So she's not gonna be no
on the
help
porch, like
because she,
she's with the
yeah,
shits
yeah,
for whatever
that's not gonna
reason,
be
whether it's she's being manipulated and abused too, right into it, because again it's in question
mhm.
from everybody that's been telling me the information that's factual. There it's in question whether these is actually his biological kids or step kids.
All right,
So
yeah. Yeah, that's somebody need to work with the oldest boy, and so that he knows people are out here willing to help him, and that he doesn't have to stay silent and suffer until he graduates high school, which it sounds like that's what he's trying to do.
hmm
Um, yeah, but that's all I wanted to say.
all
Thank you
right,
for everything you do, Mark.
appreciate you. Somebody says you can't
Appreciate
walk.
you.
Somebody just said you can't walk into a school and ask people questions about kids. That was never my intention. I wasn't just gonna go walk up to the school and say, "Hey, I want to talk to the basketball coach about one of the students that have apparently been sleeping outside in the cold uh, over the last few days, or actually the last few months." Hence the caption 60 days and 60 nights. I didn't want to use 40 and 40 because it's been since July, so it's 60 plus days. They didn't left his children out in the wilderness to fend for themselves. The neighbors say that they get up and find a way to eat, find a way to make money, however much, whatever that means, uh, to fend for themselves, man. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I asked them, you want to eat? You hungry? I brought them some food this morning, but they weren't there, so I didn't want to leave it and then pull back up, or somebody else be in the house, and then it'd be an indication of somebody trying to help, and then they be punished because it looks like they've been in contact with somebody, and they've been asking for help. Bring this to the coach's attention may get the boy able to open up. Yeah, see, Randy said, no, Sean said, exactly, I'm a mother of seven, and I'll be pissed if someone walked in inquiring about my children. That was never the intention. Again, I'm not trying to, listen, so what is it? What is it? Like, how many people feel like that I'm invading this person's privacy right now? How many of y'all feel like I'm doing something wrong? Like, honestly, show of hands. How many of y'all feel like am I doing too much right now? I want to hear from somebody who feels like I'm doing something wrong by reporting on this thing and putting the spotlight on what's going on with these children, right? Because if you feel like If now, obviously, and I'm not trying to pinpoint the person that said this, right? Because I'm a parent too, and I feel the same way if somebody was inquiring about my children. But hopefully, you're not the type of parent that will leave your kids out in the cold on December the 1st on the porch to sleep outside. You know what I'm saying? As punishment. But what is there to do then? Right? Because certainly if you feel like walking up to the school to inquire about the children is wrong, then coming up to your house, right? Had they came outside and I'm outside, what was I supposed to do? Would I been wrong for questioning the parent on why the son was out there? Would I been wrong? No, I'm not. I'm not suggesting that you said that. Sean. I'm extending that thought. I guess what I mean. In the worst case scenario, right? Am I wrong if I question the parent if they was to come outside? Right, and that was another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Right, I wouldn't be going to the school inquiring about the children. I would be informing the coach about what's going on. Hopefully, he would be able to bring some type of a resolve to the situation. I'm not going in to check nobody about their kids. That's not what I'm doing. But even with the with the father. So yeah, I just want to know what's the next step, y'all. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I will tell y'all this. When I get off this live, I'm going back over there. I'm not telling y'all what time. But I'm going back over there tonight to check on them. I sure the fuck am. Call in line still open. What's going on, caller? Who's this? Where you calling from?
Little Mama. I'm calling for the West Side.
Lil Mama from the West Side.
I am wondering. I'm wondering, Mark, if them children are maybe. Does the mom maybe bring them in the middle of the night? Since, like you said, you went over there this morning and they were gone. I wonder if it's possibly is they're in the house like in the middle of the night, and we should bring them in at some point, or is she just leaving them out there all night? Because, like you say, she could be getting abused too, and of course, if he's doing this to the children, he could be doing something to the mom as well. But I'm just wondering, like, how far is it actually going? How far are they outside?
If they were not out there all night, I don't think the setup would be out there when they weren't there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, like for if you say if she's folding the blankets up, if
and
she
leaving
brought
them
them
out
in at
there.
2 or 3. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
this is when they would, I guess, in the morning when he maybe before. I don't know if it was before or after he went to church, right? I don't know if he was at church with she was at church with him, if she did that before, and they left together, right? But all I know is there was a car gone, the church, the blankets were rolled up and against the house, and there's a very well. I'm not gonna give that detail about the house because people will be able to single it out, but yeah, it's something peculiar about the house as well that I wanted to point out, but I won't. But yeah,
Well, I'm inquiring. My daughter has a friend that's a social worker, and I'm trying to reach her so I can direct her to your labs. I'm just wondering, why is it that they can't help? Why is it that they can't do anything? And she's actually reaching out to me now, so I'm gonna tap her in your lab so she can see.
Probably in a nutshell, because nothing fucked up happened to the kid, right? So go and get the answer and come back and see if I'm right.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Yeah. Yeah, CPS ain't gonna do nothing until something tragic happened to the kid. Something real, some type of dramatic thing happens, where the child is injured in some type of a way. That's what I feel like. The child can have the possibility of injury, and they're not gonna do nothing because the possibility is just there. We gotta wait until it happened first, right? But then it's, when it happened, what could we have done to prevent this? Well, we called you beforehand and you said, it was just a possibility of it happening and it hadn't happened yet. But then when it happened, everybody, we all up in the uproar. What can we do to stop this? There needs to be systems in place to protect the children. Create a system called CPS, Child Protective Service. They're not protecting the children. This service is not protecting the child. It's an oxymoron. They need to be sued for false advertisement. Nothing about that service is protecting the child, right? They do more protecting the parent than they do protecting the children. CPS. Somebody said check my inbox. I have many inboxes. Let me see which one she might be. Who was that? Angie versus Polo? Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I know. I know who that is. I know that's who we're talking about, but don't say shit. That's yeah. See, and the people that know, like, don't be the. What's going on, caller? Who's this and where you calling from? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? All right. I think I did something. I fucked up. I answered the phone, but yeah, if you know, right, and for everybody, don't be, inbox it and show me, listen, man, chill out, yo, okay? I don't want nobody to take this shit further than it needs to go. So if you know, don't be in there, I know, just so people can hit you up. Chill out. What's going on, caller? Who is this and where you calling from?
Hey, Mark, it's Keisha again.
What's happening? What's happening?
So I used to work for CPS, but I quit, and this was one of the main reasons why, because their policies are not shit. If we can obviously see that there are signs of neglect and whatever the fuck, as long as those kids are saying, like he said, we good, I'm good, there's nothing that can be done. And then, like, with that whole lie situated, saying that they can go in the house, that's it. They can, we can call in all day. They can go do their investigation. And as long as those kids continue to say that they're good, and as long as those parents still got food and all that shit
over those kids, that's scaring them out of being able to tell the truth, and food and shelter and all that stuff that you mentioned.
And until those kids end up dead, if anybody knows anything about that Gabriel Hernandez story, once he ended up dead, every fucking CPS worker that touched that case got called to the court. then that's when everybody, like you said, everybody want to get to looking, which is why I quit. Because at the end of the day, it be clear signs of bullshit, but per policy, motherfuckers can't do shit. So yeah, no, I'm good. But yeah, that's essentially why CPS can't do nothing until that one of those children are willing to disclose fully what's going on. Ain't nothing that can be done.
Yep.
Not saying that it's right. Not saying that's just the fucked up policies. Thanks to the motherfucking people up, up in Lansing or wherever the fuck else.
Yep. Yep. And that's the
But
thing.
that's
Like I
it. All
said,
right.
something bad has to happen to the kid, like directly, physically, seems like harmful before they step in and do anything. So
Yeah, and see, it's sad because you would think like with them knowing, or even with the police, them kids been outside. Somebody should have took one of them children, not you. One of them police officers should have took one of them kids' temperature because hypothermia can set in at any point of time. But that's why, that's probably why I don't know.
hmm.
That's why they treat animals a little more, different than humans because they feel like animals can't fucking talk. But fuck that. If you see a motherfucking kid outside in fucking cold, come on, little baby, you gotta go. But that's just, if it was a white kid, they'd have took him. That's just
Man,
me.
man, I
I'm
said
just,
that last night.
I'm
I don't
going
want
back
to
to
throw
the
the race
live.
card out
I'm
there.
going back to the live. I'm not calling in no more.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I said that last night, man. If there was some white kids, man, they would have had the whole platoon out there. Would have been helicopters out there. You know what I'm saying? And who was that said that? Let me scroll back because I wanted to say something to the sister. Her name was, it started Angie. Angie, right? I wasn't getting on you like, you trying to put yourself out there because there's other people, right, that know. They're saying, I know this, is it this church, that church? Like, if you know, then don't be in the comments trying to draw attention to it. I wasn't, directing that towards you, but yeah, you're right. You're correct, though. You're absolutely fucking right. Tamika, I'm not going to say the church's name. I'm not going to say the church's name because I don't want, like I said many times during this video, I don't want people taking matters into their own hands, right, and doing things that we don't want or need to be done in regards to this case. You know what I'm saying? We about helping the kid. It's not about putting the church on blast. Or none of that. You know what I mean? We got a lot of vigilante ass people over here, out here in Detroit. We never know who watching on hell. They could be watching, right? We don't ever know who watching on social media. So we don't know what they want to do, what their intentions is. You know what I mean? So we don't want to be the spearhead of no bullshit. That's why if I was to visit the church and if I was to take a group of people with me, I would know the people that I'm informing and bringing with me. I'm not just going to say, hey, y'all meet me at this church. And no, it's not how it's going to happen. We flipping it to Kamita. Don't start. Don't start, Kamita. See what I'm saying, Sabrina. Vigilante shit right there. She talking about go cut the power to the house. So that's not the answer. See, I'm not about to have nobody going vandalizing and damaging property and shit. That's not what we know. See what I'm saying? That's why we can't be talking about no. Mm-mm. It's not what's about to happen. So yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm going to do a little more research. I need y'all to research that company some more for me, and I'm gonna do the same because I really feel like that Church and Dwight company is a little a little more sinister than what we're talking about, than what it looks like rather. And I have like I said 56 mutual friends with this pastor. You know, and it's some people that I consider high profile members of the community that are on this friends list, and I know they probably have no idea what type of treatment that he's rendering on his kids. Yeah, I am. I am. So for the people that just tuned in, I'm gonna end this, man, because I don't want to drag it out because I pretty much gave the information about this that I wanted to give out today. Let me see. Let me check these inboxes real quick just to make sure there's nothing else that I need to say or show before I get off here. Okay, I got that one. Hey. I'm just checking these inboxes, making sure there's nothing that I need to tell y'all. Uh, so yeah, if you want to get the yeah, so if y'all want to know, if you just tapped in, I'm sorry about the brief pause. Um, Go back to the beginning of the video, and you'll hear everything that I said, man. And I'll be back. I'm probably gonna go. I'm probably gonna go live on Patreon for my Patreon subscribers tonight at midnight, and go just a little bit deeper than what I said on Facebook. You know what I mean? That's more of my private community over there on Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that, then hit that link and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody $10 and up get an exclusive live stream tonight. So I'm gonna shut this down. I've been live for about an hour and a half now, man. I'm gonna cut it off, and I'll see y'all tonight and then tomorrow. Of course, I'll be up. Y'all can hit my inbox if y'all want to continue the conversation there. But for right now, that is the gist of the conversation that I want to have with y'all tonight about the whole situation, and as well as me. I'm about to go back over there on the block, right? I'm about to go back over there on the block, and I just might call Roxy I just might call Roxy to go with me. If anybody need to go with me, I feel like I might need somebody to go with me. So I'm gonna call Roxy and see if she up. But until then, man, over and out. Peace and love. Your boy Mark D. 7 Mile Radio, word on the street. I will see y'all next time, man, with the updates. Y'all know I'm gonna keep y'all informed and updated, ladies and gentlemen. City of Detroit. I love y'all. In a minute.
The kind of show. This is the kind of show we always dreamed of doing.
Impossible. Impossible.
This is the kind of show.